All right, let's get started. So for those of you that I haven't met, my name is Kennedy Bauer. I'm the Network Engagement Services Manager here at the North Texas Food Bank. We're really excited to be here today and share some more information about this new initiative. We're going to get started off by hearing from our executive team. And we're going to start with our CEO and President, Tricia Cunningham.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much. It's so exciting to see all of you. I know I saw many of you at our Partner Agency Summit recently, but we are very appreciative of your presence here to just help us to launch this new resource, Network and Engagement Services. It's been in the works for quite a while, and the whole purpose behind it is to help you be successful. As you know, and many of you celebrated with us, it is our 40th anniversary here at the North Texas Food Bank. So this makes it really an especially meaningful year as we really think about our history. And the one thing that we have learned through all these 40 years is that we are stronger together with our feeding network, with our partners. We can empower and strengthen our communities every day, the better that we work together overall. So let's go on to the next slide. There you go. In our first year, whenever we were serving, our feeding network at that time distributed 400,000 pounds of food that first year. It wasn't a full year, but if you really look forward now, 40 years later, thanks to the hard work and commitment from all of you, knowing that 86% of our food today goes through you, we provided access to nearly 85 million distributed meals in our last fiscal year, which ended in June, and also provided access to 52 million SNAP equivalent meals. So together, that's 137 million meals combined for our community. And I know you're seeing it as much as we are, that the needs haven't gone down. They've actually gone up because of inflation. So it really makes it even more important for us to continue to work together. Every fiscal year, the food bank staff chooses a word. What does that word represent? Where are we today? Sort of represent our goals and priorities for the year. And you may have heard us talk about it at the summit, but this year we chose the word unity. And what that means to us is that we have to be united in our shared passion, united as a community, and united for all of our neighbors. And so much of this happens at the community level with all of you bringing together those neighbors in your local community and those supporters in your local community as well. It's not just about providing nutritious food, but it's helping our neighbors to get back on their feet, work toward economic stability, and making sure that they can regain self-sufficiency. So Network Engagement Services is part of how we want to support you and enhance your efforts to engage further with your community and your neighbors. So we are making this investment to make not only you stronger, but to make all of us stronger so that we can better serve our neighbors. So thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your dedication and partnership and your dedication to serve so that we can try to make sure no one in our community goes hungry. So we're looking forward to engaging with you. So Kennedy, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Tricia. It's such an impactful point about our organization's history. And with working with our partner network, we really, truly could not do what we do without you all. So thank you all for being here and thank you for participating. Now let's hear from our Chief External Affairs Officer, Erica Yeager, who's going to tell us a little bit more about how NES is going to continue to make us all stronger together.
Good afternoon, everyone. I echo the gratitude shared by Kennedy and Tricia and the rest of the team. You really are partners in this work, and we know how difficult it is. So we can certainly empathize with your efforts, especially when it comes to fundraising and marketing and advocacy and volunteer management. So really excited about this initiative. Kenny, if you want to flip on to the next slide. Last year, we announced our strategic plan, which in partnership with you provides both food for today and hope for tomorrow for those we serve by addressing the underlying barriers to food security. So a critical component of this Hope for Tomorrow work is our commitment to investing in this network of feeding partners who provide all those wraparound services that address those barriers and can empower our neighbors to regain that self-sufficiency and really create that lasting change. So we want to ensure that you are successful and have the resources you need to sustain this important work. And to best serve our community collectively in this uncertain environment, especially when I suspect that, like us, you might be seeing philanthropic contributions start to soften a little bit. We all need to find creative, collaborative ways to engage the community in our missions. So we've been listening to you. We've had many face-to-face conversations, and we conducted a number of surveys throughout the past 2 years to validate what we've been hearing, and have crafted a solution called Network Engagement Services, which you will hear us refer to as NES. But it's a key initiative as part of our Nourish North Texas strategic plan. So we're excited to share more about this with you today. So through NES, we plan to work with the agencies in this network to identify needs and offer targeted resources and trainings that will help you strengthen specifically your fundraising, your marketing, your advocacy, and your volunteer efforts. So we're committed to empowering you to achieve your mission of meeting urgent needs and transforming the lives of those you serve. And our hope is through these both broad and custom offerings, which Kennedy's going to share a bit more about in a little bit, we can enhance your work in these core areas. So Kennedy, back to you.
Thanks, Erica. And thanks for going into the process and why the creation of NES was so important. Now we will be hearing from our Vice President of Community Impact, Ann Riedheimer.
Thanks, Kennedy, and thank you everybody for being here today for the launch of this NES support that we have available for y'all moving forward. This work, this body of work that we have here is really created to support you, our partners. And as Erica mentioned, those 4 key buckets that we're really looking at focusing in on: fundraising, volunteerism, marketing to build your brands, as well as advocacy to make sure that we can get the funds and the voice focused on our mission together to end hunger. Why don't you go ahead and move to the next one, Kennedy? And I'll talk a little bit in more detail. We have some speakers coming up after me to talk about even more real life examples of how this has been working with them. But the goal of NES is to build our partnerships and build our support of you in these buckets. The way that this will work, what are some of the things, what might that look like? It could be support in email offerings, tools. It could be some live webinars. It could be some trainings that we do on site. It could be curriculum that we're building up in Agency University, a platform that you guys are already familiar with, doing in-person meetings, discussion, collaborations, learnings on some of the tools and tricks that have been implemented in one area, and then leveraging that and scaling it for others. We're going to look at some opportunities where we can do some cost subsidized pieces of work, bodies of work, like creative content development, where we can look at a cost sharing model for that in case that's a barrier for y'all doing marketing tools and things along those lines. Definitely want to focus on amplifying your fundraising efforts that you have, because that helps to build that long-term sustainability. And then marketing initiatives along that as well. So we have 2 partners with us today, CCA, Christian Community Action, and Sharing Life has been doing some pilot work, I would say, in this area. And they're going to share some of their stories and how this has worked out and what it has looked like with them. So I'll turn it back over to Kennedy to carry us on in our agenda today.
Awesome. Thank you, Ann. And as Ann did mention, we are going to hear from 2 of our partners today, Sharing Life and CCA, next. But we do want to talk first just a little bit more about NES. So as our team, Ann and Erica and Trisha all mentioned, we do have several ways for you to engage in NES, and that's going to be through our updates, which will come through the monthly newsletter, which you all already receive from the community relations team every month. We'll have everything from a do-it-yourself toolkit that you can read through at your leisure. It will be available online. We'll also have virtual and in-person learning opportunities that will relate back to those 4 topics that have been mentioned already: fundraising, marketing, advocacy, and volunteerism. So those updates that will come through the monthly newsletter will have more information on the trainings that will be offered through Agency University, which many of you may already be familiar with. And we will have some in-person discussions as well. We want to provide just easily accessible ways for you all to learn and collaborate and discuss with each other. So some examples of the topics that will be available through NES are going to be fundraising campaigns, holiday appeals, volunteer management, advocacy initiatives, and storytelling are just some examples. But we'd love to also hear other suggestions based on your needs. So if you do have any ideas and you want us to contact you directly, you can reach out to us. We will be sending a jot form link in the chat by our friend Johnny. Johnny, if you don't mind sending that now. And then in the future, if you'd like to access that jot form, it will be on our website, which I'll show you how to access after this. Before we hear from our next guest, just a little bit about our work with them, and that would be Sharing Life Community Outreach. So Teresa Jackson, the CEO of Sharing Life, was able to create a strategic development plan with some assistance from a fundraising consultant called Mission Advancement, which we will refer to as MAP. So Teresa wanted to ensure that Sharing Life could continue doing their work and meeting their goals for growth. And this is just an example of one of the customized services that we will be offering through NES. But these services could really be anything from a discussion with graphic design artists or a full-scale strategic development plan, such as what we're offered to Sharing Life. We just know that every agency is different and everyone has different needs. So obviously we don't intend for this to be kind of a one-size-fits-all situation, but we are also asking Mission Advancement to lead a similar project to what was done with Sharing Life and craft a new strategic development plan with another partner, Christian Community Action. So this will be our pilot partnership, and the CCA, they've graciously offered to help us to kind of evaluate and process everything so that we can be sure that we're doing this well going forward. So all of us will be able to hear about that pilot partnership with Gilbert Montez, the CEO of CCA, in a few moments. First, we are going to enjoy a short video of Teresa from Sharing Life and Vanessa Dickerson from Mission Advancement. One moment.
I'm Vanessa Dickerson, a consultant with Mission Advancement. I've had the pleasure of collaborating with Sharing Life Outreach based out of Mesquite. Over the past several months, we have focused on the mission advancement methodology of growing your individual donor giving through relationship-based fundraising. Coming off a life-changing event of the pandemic, many nonprofits are realizing foundation gifts are not sustainable and want to see their funding grow through individual donors. Working to grow your donor base by creating transformational giving provides more control over your fundraising goals. We are thrilled to have partnered with Sharing Life Outreach to provide a path to help them reach those goals.
We're grateful to North Texas Food Bank for offering this to us at Sharing Life, and we are thankful that MAP has provided us with this great new tool. The new Network Engagement Services program is available to you too. I hope that you'll consider taking some time to learn more about it from our friends at North Texas Food Bank.
Alrighty, and now we'll be hearing from Gilbert Montez, the CEO of Christian Community Action.
All right, Kennedy, thank you for that. And thank you, North Texas Food Bank, Tricia and Erica and everybody that's been involved with this. We're excited about this opportunity that we have. And of course, we had the pleasure of being asked to one of the North Texas Food Bank's pilot partners for NES. And, you know, since the pandemic, we've seen continued increase in the number of clients that have come. And we've realized the need for growth in our fundraising efforts. Even in our pantry, we have surpassed the 700 mark in terms of families who are coming to our food pantry each week. And the number seeking help for rent and utility assistance continues to grow, continues to climb, seems like every week. We've enjoyed a great partnership with North Texas Food Bank, and our own Trent Smith serves on the Partner Agency Council. And so we're grateful for Trent and his service there. We have several goals for the next few years. Currently, we're in the process of expanding our development team, hiring additional staff for that team. We're also looking to create both a mid-level and a major gifts program, as well as bring in more fundraising to expand our reach and to be able to assist more and more families in our community. And really, the timing couldn't be better. North Texas Food Bank is celebrating its 40th, and next year, CCA celebrates its 50th. And so great timing for us. This will be one of our biggest priorities this coming year. And again, very fitting that we have a lot to celebrate with our 50th anniversary. We're also grateful for the opportunity to work with Mission Advancement. We've known about their capability for a long time, so we're excited to be able to work with them. And in the end, we hope to create more exciting ways for us to learn and grow, and obviously to serve more and more families. So thank you very much, North Texas Food Bank.
Thanks so much for sharing that, Gilbert. We're super excited, and obviously congratulations on your huge achievement. 50 years is incredible. We're so appreciative for you to be here, and I know some of your team, I saw Tiffany pop up earlier, so glad to have you guys here. And we're super excited about our pilot partnership. So this is definitely going to help us pave the way for future opportunities within our network. Awesome. Well, I hope that hearing from a couple of our partners today has helped you get excited. I know that I'm excited for the ways that you can be able to benefit from this program. And as I mentioned earlier, I know every agency is different with completely different needs. And so we are looking to collaborate with you and assess and develop a plan that works for you and your organization community. So before we open it up for questions, I just wanted to close by sharing what some of our goals are and hopes are for NES, and how we hope that it will allow us all to achieve together. And as you can see, it does go back to focus on unity, which, as Tricia mentioned, is our word for the year. So we want to create a collaborative and engaging network of feeding partners that are interested in development and growth, to remove barriers to access learning, establish a foundation of support and opportunities from NTFB that are available to all network partners, and then also provide resources and services to our partners that are actively working to grow in the areas, as mentioned, fundraising, marketing, advocacy, and volunteerism. And lastly, to learn more about NES, obviously you can visit our website. So quickly, I will stop sharing my presentation and we will take a look at that. All right, and so previously this is what you would see. Obviously our countdown has ended and NES is launching. So currently you will see this. So NES is now live. What is NES? Just a brief overview, some information as we've talked about today. And then you can access our resources below. So fundraising, volunteerism, marketing, and advocacy, all of these are linked. So you can click on whichever one you're interested in. Topics that we have currently available, just some examples of our resources. You can click here to read more information. And then to provide suggestions, obviously, as we mentioned through the drop form, that is accessible here. So to get to this, you will go to the food bank website. which is ntfb.org, and you'll access it the same way through our agency's own partner portal. And then right here, click on NES. And then that's how you access it. So if you have any questions on that, obviously feel free to contact me. And then ultimately, I'll open it up for questions now.
Do y'all just keep chocolate in here and just restock every time you get low?
Kennedy, there was a question in the chat. Will you have any information on creating job fairs for our clients? I think that's a good example of a topic that if it's of interest among the network, I think that's certainly something that we would explore and utilize Agency University.
Absolutely, yeah. If there's a push for that, we would love to help initiate something like that and make it happen. I know that some of our agencies actually participate in job fairs and conduct them, and so there could be an opportunity to learn from our peers. Well, if there's no other questions, obviously we will end it there. If you do have any questions that are specific towards your agency, please feel free to reach out to me directly, or I can stay on the meeting a little bit longer and answer those. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to connecting and collaborating with you.